So what I've got for you today is totally legit, by the way. This is the craziest customer you're ever going to see in all of existence.
What the hell do you want?
Mrs. Carter,
What the hell do you want?
we're calling today to ensure you're getting the best value and service. BT have got an offer
Get
to
this
you.
fucking phone call up your pissing ass and get me off this. This is an ex-directly phone and now includes fucking British Telecom.
Okay.
We pay the fucking bills, now get the fuck off my phone line. Do you understand?
I understand, sir.
Good.
Right.
Well, make sure it's fucking written down and don't ring me again.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll come and swing your scrawny fucking neck, and I mean physically.
No problem.
Do you comprehend?
Yeah, all it takes is a couple of seconds.
I've told you to go and fuck off.
No
Do
problem.
you comprehend?
Yep, no problems. Thank you for your
Good.
time.
Don't ever ring again.
Right. Thank you for your time then, sir. Thank you for using BT. Got him. Jesus Christ, Diane. Could you do me a favour and listen to that last call for me, please?
Could you imagine if he called him back and said, "Hi, Mr. Carter, I think we got off on the wrong foot there, so we're calling today to offer you the best value on..." Did you notice that he just answers his phone with, "What the hell do you want?" before he even knows who's actually calling? So I want to show you today, the biggest myth about business, and that is that you want every customer, and I'm going to show you how to make a really cool experience around it so that you can attract only good customers that are the exact opposite of that guy. So here's what you're going to learn in this section. I want to show you first how to create better relationships with your customers. And I don't mean the Bill Clinton kind of relationships, although if you do that, that's more power to you. How doing so will make you ultimately feel better about what you do, like you'll have greater integrity and take greater pride in your work. You're going to provide the best experience in your whole entire industry. And I know that's saying a lot, but everybody's copying everybody else, and because you're not, it's going to be more profound. You're going to make more money doing it. Of course, you guys don't like money, so maybe that's a bad thing. And the beginnings of viral promotion of your business, because you're going to create a buzz that's going to get people to talk about you. So let me first tell you what the biggest problem is that we're going to overcome. The biggest problem in the business is many people think my product or service is the best, and therefore my business is the best. But your customer doesn't think that way. In fact, you've probably seen a lot of these entrepreneur TV shows, and they're almost like inventor types. They think their product or service is their business. But let me ask you something. Does McDonald's make the world's best hamburger? Probably not, but they sell a whole lot more than everyone else. And, one of the problems is that not all customers are created equal, and yours might not even be a match. Like the one I showed you in the intro to this video, that's a customer, but would you really want that guy if you were selling telephones? I sure hope not. You could be in the wrong market. You could be selling all the wrong stuff, and you can always reposition your product, like the way Subway repositioned themselves with Jared in the weight loss market. Gotta love Jared, eh? I'm totally kidding. Jared gets pretty old fast, but you might not be pre-selling your customers effectively. And one of the other problems is you could be letting your existing customers walk out the door, never to be heard from again. That's like bye-bye, they're gone. So let me tell you how part of this came about, this huge lesson for me. I was talking with a surgeon, and he was just voted the nicest surgeon in 2011 in the whole USA, and another surgeon who's been on Oprah a few times. And I was asking them, basically, what makes their experience to their customers different than every other surgeon. And so I picked through their thoughts for a while, because, they don't always just come out and say, oh, it's this, right? You got to kind of do some analysis. I decided to summarize for you what I learned right here from the very best. It's not the product or service itself. It's the experience around the product or service that matters. So let's say you're eating at home versus having a dinner in a fancy restaurant. Which one's better? How about you're watching a baseball game at home on TV or in front of 40,000 screaming crazy Yankees fans? Sorry, Yankees fans, but you guys are a little crazy. How about getting Megan Fox's phone number off of a website versus having her deliver it in person? How about listening to a song on the radio versus being at a concert? Or watching a movie on TV at home by yourself with those obnoxious commercials? Or watching it at the theater? Or how about this? You get paid $1,000 from your job, or you win it on a lottery ticket. And this still works because you know all those old people who, in my opinion, talk like this. Sorry, that's my horrible old people voice. They read the newspaper for the very reason that there's a whole experience around it, right? Reading the newspaper is different for them than reading an ebook, which is probably different than all of us to listening to that same information on CD versus watching that same information on video versus being at a seminar versus sitting down one-on-one with a celebrity getting that exact same information. In all of these examples, the product or service is exactly the same, but the delivery and the experience and the ambiance around that, very, very different. So you have to be conscious of that. So the bottom line is basically it's your customer experience as a whole that's going to make this difference. So if you want to have those happier customers that are a little bit eccentric and just love you and ultimately make more money in the process, you need to cultivate and manufacture customer experience. So, when people simply think being the best at your product or service is enough, they're hurting their bottom line. And I've seen people like this. You probably know a few restaurants who think, I make the best spaghetti, but, it's just a plate of spaghetti, right? And there's nothing special about coming to their restaurant. So there's two ways you can improve your customer experience right now. The first is to create some ambiance around the whole delivery itself of your product. Right? Make it a cool experience. Make them feel fun and exciting. Make it cool to be your customer. And the second thing is over-deliver. I know it's a cliche, but nobody ever does it. I mean, when do you ever, go to McDonald's, you order a meal, when do they ever say, by the way, here's this extra thing that you didn't even know? Never, right? It's always exactly what you expected. So I know it's a cliche, but nobody does it. So in order to give some cool things that over-deliver, I want you to give a very specific thing. I want you to think about what is the next thing my prospect needs to be successful. Because that's what's really going to make them feel like you care and make a difference. So let me give you simple examples. I've seen this in real life. A plastic surgeon gives you some skin cream to heal from scars, right? I mean, you're going to be recovering, right? So they give you some stuff to show you they care about your recovery. It goes a long way. This one I didn't actually experience, but I dislocated my shoulder and I wasn't able to go work out for a good 3 months because I just couldn't even raise my arm. The gym just kind of collected my money and that was kind of it. And I thought, imagine they wanted me to actually get use out of their product and not just take my money. They'd have much happier customers. So imagine they just called me and said, hey, we noticed you haven't been in, because it's all scanned electronically, and said, here's a free training session or a class you can use because we want you to get back on track. Or the girlfriend, she loves to go for those massages, not those weird ones, but like actual massages from a masseuse. And apparently it dehydrates you and you need water after. Her masseuse, she's been to a few. This is the first one that just gives them a couple of bottles of water. Says, hey, you need to hydrate yourself. Here's some water. But it shows that they care about your recovery and everything, right? You can't think of anything. Like, say you're a realtor and accountant, it could be tough. You can always give gift baskets, right? Gift baskets are always like something you can give away. Of course, if you have stuff in your office, you get free samples for something you probably weren't even going to use. Turn those samples into over delivery. And of course, you don't even need physical stuff. Here's the best example I can give you: a simple phone call in a week to see how you're doing. Our veterinarian, has pretty veterinarian-like hours, which is, the usual 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Our dog got really sick on like a weekend, and we couldn't go anywhere. So imagine this: we're driving all the way out to the county to some doctor we've never heard of, and we brought the vet there, we brought the dog there to the vet, and he actually called us a week later and asked how the dog was doing. And I knew we were screwed because I knew the girlfriend was never ever going to be able to go to another vet again. Just that phone call alone and showing that he cared about how we were doing. It wasn't like his assistant or anything. It was the vet himself. Now we have to drive an hour into the boondocks in the county, and where all the murders and stuff happened, somewhere in the cornfields, to find this vet because he was just super nice. So the bottom line is, I just want to really quickly tell you, you have to increase the cool factor of being your customer and create a whole experience around being your customer, because you're going to charge more money, but ultimately you're going to have better customer satisfaction because they're going to remember you for how you make them feel, and that's cool. So do that and get more and better customers, and it won't necessarily matter that your physical product itself might not be superior, because your experience and your whole marketing and ambiance is done for the customer. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to visit us in person, www.modernworkers.com. Take care.